Welcome, everybody.
Yep.
It's
hard, baby.
I clipped on you. Oh, my bad.
I like that, though. You know, you clipping all over me.
Okay.
Came out.
Yeah, that came out a little weird. Welcome, everybody, to the final episode of 2020 for the Music Guy podcast.
It's over.
It's over. My name's Al Rowe. I'm a music guy. I make records. I chill at home. I make content. I stream. And don't really play many gigs, but I do sing and play guitar and write songs when I can. Coming at you from the beaches on the east side of Toronto. My co-host joining me on the line all the way from Whitby, Ontario, is Mr. Michael Hebbs. How are you, my friend?
Oh, you know, just waiting out the rest of 2020. As soon as 2021 happens, everything's going to be different. It's going to be so much different, guys.
We're going to be back to normal, right?
That's exactly it. Yeah. I don't believe that at all.
No. I'll tell you, though, I was fortunate. I played a show with Abby J. Hall a couple days ago at the Burlington Performing Arts Center. And they did a great job there at following all the protocols. We had plexiglass barriers between each person on the stage, and masks were on at all times except when we were singing and all that kind of stuff. And it was all no audience, all to stream. And the headliner was Walk Off the Earth, the Burlington-based band. And Abby herself, of course, based in Burlington, friend of the show, former guest of the show.
Yes.
Maybe future guest of the show as well. So great show, but it just got me thinking. It's like, man, there's going to be some kind of slow, creeping, crawling transition from this no audience, plexiglass stream show to, you know, shows with an audience again.
Classic.
Maybe we'll be doing stream concerts with 25 people in the room, 50 people in the room, a couple hundred people in the room, and then eventually, you know, maybe we'll get back to that several thousand people thing. Maybe outdoor concerts will
shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, maybe outdoor events will allow for a bigger crowd, or maybe not. I mean, maybe we just won't get back to those big festivals with so many people gathering because of the dangers there. But hopefully sometime this year, 2021, we'll be playing music in front of people, for people in the same room as us. That's my hope.
This is my final goal for 2020, and it is illegal. It's an illegal goal. It's not very illegal though. So you know, me and my friends from high school, and by my friends from high school I mean two of my friends, we're just gonna choose a secluded area like a park at night, and we're gonna distance ourselves. And we're just going to have chairs set up, and we're just going to get drunk outside, you know? It's just going to be a distanced getting drunk.
Well, that's what people were doing in the summer before it got cold out, right? So, yeah, we'll get back to that.
Public.
It was like allowed. You could just drink in parks in the summer. That was just like...
That's great.
No, I mean, it wasn't actually allowed, but nobody was stopping it because... Yeah.
This is not legal advice.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll be doing some of that this year. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Outdoor drinking hangs at parks were pretty fun. I did enjoy those. Yeah. So anyways, here we are with our 2020 in review episode. If you guys want to go back in time, we did do a 2019 review. If you want to see what we thought the world was going to be like in 2020, go on back and check that one out. All the past episodes are, of course, available on the website, musicguypodcast.com. So we're kind of jumping off the show notes from the previous year. We've got a few topics to hit up, and, you know, as we say sayonara to 2020 and usher in 2021 here on the show, let's start with something hopefully not too depressing. How about... Okay, how about best song of 2020, Mike?
I don't think one time, once in 2020, I've listened to the radio.
Wow.
I don't think I have. I'm trying to think. Oh God, I'm trying to think what the name of her is. Have you heard that song "Leave the Light On"? I think it's Maggie something. I'm gonna look it up.
No, I don't think I know that
Leave the
tune.
light on, I'll leave the light on.
No, nice. Singing it great though.
Yeah, I'm a very talented man. Wow, it's not fucking Tom Walker. Leave the light on Maggie. Maggie Rogers. I don't know if it came out this year, but I heard it on Spotify. I've been getting into listening music. Listening music is not what I meant to say, but I've been getting into listening to music before bed. Just because I'm a musician, I should be enjoying music, being musical. So I've been listening to Light On by Maggie Rogers, and I thought that was the fucking shit.
Nice.
Like kind of indie, but kind of not. You know, it's kind of poppy. It's good. It's a great song too.
We got a great gift from my family this year for Christmas, which was a Sony like sound bar and subwoofer for the TV.
Oh, there you go.
Really simple to set up. You just plug it in and it's good to go. But
Yeah.
what I didn't expect was like, okay, now I can Bluetooth my phone to this and we can just have music playing in the house.
Yeah.
Which is so huge because now like I could put a record on just when we're hanging out or making dinner or whatever. And like it's now I'm
Yeah.
actually I'm getting back into just listening to music.
You should be, yeah. I
Which
feel so
like
guilty.
no, I mean I think a lot of us are that way. It's like we do it for
Yeah.
work and our brains kind of I don't know if you're like me in this way, but if there's music on in the background, I have a hard time focusing on what's happening right in front of me.
I'm okay with that. It's pretty. It's not a focus. It's not an ability to focus. I'm just good at tuning things out. I'm not
Yeah.
tuning my own horn. I'm just really good at not paying attention.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like music is not really a background thing for me. Like
Sure.
if I'm listening to it, I'm really listening to it. So, but then sadly, I'm listening to it less because, unless it's for work, I don't really have that like mental and emotional capacity to want to sit down and really dive deep into a record. But,
Yeah.
anyways,
You're doing
and I know I'm kind of contradicting myself here, but now that we have this sound system, I can throw an album on and kind of, enjoy that in a way that I haven't been able to in the past. So hopefully
I
I'm
get
listening to
that,
more
though.
music.
Because like, as much as I'd love to have, I saw a clip where Tom Cruise was like espousing to Jimmy Fallon. Oh, you gotta get a hi-fi system and a hi-fi room and get it like set up. So I think this dude, obviously Tom Cruise is loaded, has a fucking special room with a great system and really expensive hi-fi shit because he's a celebrity.
Mhm.
And you go into that room and you sit down and you put the records on, and it's like, I'm not gonna do that. Straight up,
No.
just not gonna do that. Which is a shame because, especially someone like you would appreciate that. Like, oh man, this recording is so wide and blah 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 and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
But-
Any of us would. I mean, have you ever been in a mastering studio? Listen to a session
Yes.
in there? Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
like it's like going to the IMAX theater and watching a movie,
Yeah.
right? It's like you're inside it.
thing
You can
is-
feel where everything is. You can hear everything. It's great.
It's your shit though too. You know what I mean? Like, could you
Yeah.
imagine listening to like the classics?
Oh, I
in that
have.
room?
I have though. Like that.
Really?
Oh yeah, man.
Oh.
Like being in a mastering room and pulling up like an old record or a new record or whatever, just as a comparison or just
Yeah.
for fun. Like I've definitely done that a couple times and just been like,
Oh.
whoa, this is so sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We should be listening to music. I feel like that's like almost the secret, Like,
yeah,
if we're not
right.
listening, how can we be musical?
Yeah.
We can be good at practice. I've been practicing my fucking butt off. I'm working on lap steel now.
Nice.
I'm gonna fucking dominate. I'm working on lap steel and I'm working on this fucking beat pad here, man.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And just playing grooves and shit. But it's like, I gotta be listening to music or else it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I mean that's where you can get some great ideas from, obviously, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what we're all here for. Is just the music. So, but yeah, I mean, I got a great set of headphones. I'm lucky to have a good little studio in the house here. So, Let's make it a
Yeah,
goal. Let's make it a goal. 2021.
That's
Listen to more.
2021 goal. If the
Just for
world doesn't-
enjoyment, not even for any analysis or learning songs or whatever. It's just like let's just get back to enjoying music. Okay, so
Be the
my
13-year-old kid.
my best song for 2020, the year past, I'm gonna go with All or Nothing by Mono Whales.
Oh yeah.
This was
The Mono Whales are dope.
yeah, this was a tune that Ruben, our guest, a couple episodes back, the mastering engineer, he's mastered a bunch of stuff for the band Mono Whales. Didn't actually master this particular song, but man, every time this came on the radio, I turned it up. So
Yeah.
that's enough for me because more often than not, something comes on the radio, like I couldn't care less, or I'm switching the station, unless it's like some good old Tommy Cochran or something, then I'm gonna crank it up. But like any of the current pop stuff, I'm usually not super interested in. This is more of an alternative track, but it slaps.
Oh, man.
Check it out if you haven't.
It's
It's sick.
I heard them a lot on 88.1.
Yeah,
I mean,
88.1, yeah.
Who aren't from Toronto? I like 88.1. I really liked their song "Really Want to Let You Down." They have cool videos too, man. Whoever
Sweet.
does their videos, like mad shout out. And I think, they're getting all their stuff done here in terms of recording too. Whoever's doing all of that stuff, if Ruben did "Really Want to Let You Down," that's a great fucking song. Like it's like old school, but it's new too. It's not like they're living in a dead age. They're like, yeah, we're gonna borrow some of that stuff, but we're also gonna be relevant. It could be on the pop station.
Shout out to NHL 19. That was part of the soundtrack. NHL 19. Really Want to Let You Down.
Mark of Magic.
Yeah, the Mark of Magic was my team.
Our Chell team.
Yeah, Chell
When we
team.
moved in
Yeah.
together. I sucked really bad.
Oh no, it was all in good fun.
What was your song?
What'd you say?
What was your song last year that you chose?
Last
for
year I
2020?
chose "Beer Never Broke My Heart" by whatever the hell that guy's name is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's the country guy.
Yeah.
He's actually like legit a country guy.
Yeah.
I think,
Why can't I think of his name?
My choice was "Young Blood" by I can't remember their name either.
Yeah. That was
you
a
know
good.
that song,
That was a good track.
Young
Yeah, 5 Seconds of
Blood.
Summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a badass
They're
tune.
great.
Yeah, I like that song.
That was what Aberdeen was going to be.
Right.
If Aberdeen still was going, that's what they were going to be. I've decided.
Okay, so let's jump to worst song of 2020.
Okay. You go ahead.
I'm gonna
You
go first.
I'm-
Okay, mine is "Laugh Now, Cry Later" by Drake.
Yeah.
Send the haters at me if you want. I just don't like the song. I'm down with Drake. The
Yeah.
song "Over" back in the day. I knew most of the words to that. I thought that song was pretty badass. This song, it's too long. It's kind of boring. The parts repeat a lot. There's like one or two elements in maybe just one real element in the instrumental. Like there's a loop. It's kind of like a horn sort of thing, synthetic horn thing. And then, maybe there's a trap beat in there at some point, but like there's just not much going on in this, in the instrumental. I find the vocal pretty boring. And it just, it would come on in the car or whatever, and I'd just be like, man, this is still on. And it was on all the time. This is a very popular song. Like,
Yeah.
Obviously I don't know what I'm talking about sitting here in my room making a podcast. I mean, Drake's like the biggest artist in the world or whatever, but
I
do
think he
do
has
better.
something.
Do
Maybe
better,
he
bro.
That's exactly it. And I mean, Drake definitely had something. I haven't listened to his new stuff, so
Yeah.
maybe he's kind of. It's the same with T Swift. My worst song last year was whatever T Swift song was up, or just that album, and I wasn't feeling it. She's since then released the newest record has been really great, but I just wasn't feeling it, And she's one of the ones like I revere Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so I don't think revere is the right word, but whatever. But yeah, no, she
I think it might
kind
be.
of lost it for a bit, got back to it. But I don't know what my worst song is now. Like, I'm trying to think of what's on the radio. I have, songs that I think are brutal. Like, have you ever heard? There's this one Nickelback song. I'm gonna look it up. Nickelback.
Love to hate.
to be honest, I actually really the reason why I hate the song is because I think that Nickelback's great.
Mm.
This is gonna take a second, so I apologize, but it's really important to me. There's this one song where they're trying to be Maroon 5. He like even cuts
Really?
his hair for it.
Is
and
it like a
man,
joke
Nickelback-
or what?
No. Nickelback doesn't need to do this. Nickelback's I think they're a great band that gets a lot of shit.
Yeah, right.
Dave Grohl is really mean to them, and it makes me sad. But where's this fucking video?
Well, feel free, folks, to post in the comments your favorite song of this year and why, and the worst song of the year and why. We'd love to get your feedback on this.
I can't find this song. I am so sorry. I gotta find it. You're just gonna have to edit this. And
Yeah,
for those on the stream,
it's all good. It's all good.
they're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
4 years ago. I'm so upset. Happy birthday, Avril. That's not the song. Ooh, I think this
Well,
might
that sounds
be it.
salty.
It's not that Spider-Man song. That Spider-Man song was fucking fire. I can't fucking find it, and so now it's just irrelevant.
Well, we could just
We're
edit.
gonna put it in the show notes.
We'll edit it in later. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Well, let's take a look back down the gigs that we did get to play in 2020. And for me, I mean, I was, and I'm sure for you as well, fairly active in 2019 in terms of playing shows, doing tours and stuff. And, even right up into March when the lockdowns came in, I was still able to play some gigs. And the highlight for me was going to Calgary to play the Cups Gala, which is a gala for a charity called Cups, CUPS, who help underprivileged folks in Calgary. And I was playing guitar for Amanda Marshall with Will and some other great folks. Peter Kadar also in that band.
PK?
Al Webster.
PK makes me think of DK. I think Peter Kadar would appreciate that, That's a great Smash Bros. Character.
Yeah. And Mario
One thing
Kart.
that I've learned is not to insult or make jokes about charity gigs before I know what the charity's about. I did it in an earlier podcast and then found out what the charity was about, and I was like, oh, we need to edit that one out. And I don't know if we did.
No, this is a great charity. We did a visit with one of their, I guess it would be like a daycare sort of setup that they have going on, like a free drop-in where parents can bring their kids, kind of like, because daycare is super expensive, right? So just one of the ways that they're giving back to the community. We actually played some music for the kids there, introduced ourselves, chatted with them, and chatted with the folks of the charity. I know Amanda's been involved with these folks for a number of years, but man, like playing Fall from Grace on acoustic guitar with a band, with her and her band,
The original artist, yeah.
was like, whoa, this is dope. So that was definitely my highlight of the year. I hope to get another chance to play with those guys again. That was amazing.
The Nickelback video was "She Keeps Me Up." I figured.
She Keeps Me Up by Nickelback. Mike's worst song of
Even though it
2020.
wasn't in 2020. That's the only thing I could think of that made me sad.
Oh, what year is it from?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I went out of the video, but it makes me sad.
Okay. Well, do better,
What is my
Nickelback.
favorite gig? Yeah, do better, Michael Hebbs. My favorite gig of 2020. I honestly don't remember any of the gigs because they were like 9 months ago. I played a few drive-in gigs, but they were like fine. They weren't bad, but they were fine.
We did one with Chris, right?
Yep, and it was good, but it wasn't like whoa, like
Mhm.
it was just like I'll take what I can get. What
Take that,
great
Chris.
'cause it was good. Well, it was good to play with Chris. I mean, I just mean in terms of the gig wasn't some cool place or it wasn't
Take that,
it wasn't-
Peterborough.
like really fun. Was it Peterborough? What was the
Take
thing?
that, Anchor Bay.
Oh, yeah, that actually was a pretty fun show. I forgot about that. I think that's actually my highlight. I was gonna say something different.
Oh, he's
I had
walking
to
it back.
look into my calendar to remember the gig, and it was all the way back in December. But I forgot about the Peterborough one. That was pretty fun.
I enjoyed that one, man. I got to mix
Yeah.
you guys on an X32 remotely.
Yep.
That was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed that
But
one.
never mind.
Yeah.
I screwed up a bunch, because haven't played live in a long time. I felt the heat.
Yeah, that was way deep into the quarantine darkness at that point. But that was one like in the summer when things relaxed a little bit and you could do outdoor events, and they kept the numbers low, and they did it all legit, and it was good. I was happy to do that one. Okay, what was your most embarrassing moment of 2020? If you could choose only one, what would?
You're gonna have to go first, buddy, because
Okay.
I got nothing.
Mine again is, and we brought this up before, is
Oh, yeah.
is when I said that COVID wasn't that serious on this podcast.
Crowning achievement. of the
Oh my
Music
God, I'm
Guy
such an idiot.
podcast.
You know, I wasn't the only person who felt that way, but
Yeah.
you know, I was hearing the rumblings, and it
People were
looked
freaking out.
on the surface, it looked to me from what I was reading and seeing as just the media kind of trumping this whole thing up so they could have a more exciting 24-hour news cycle. And
Which they were.
I did
You were
well.
right.
I mean, sure, but like, you know, I
You
was
were right. It's just you were right in many senses, but you know what I mean. Most of what you said was right. It's just
just the
You were wrong.
overarching, yeah, just that I was fundamentally wrong. Yeah.
you were right you were wrong for the right reasons. There we go.
That's
Or were you right
nice.
for the wrong reasons.
No, I like
I'm
what
not-
you said. Wrong for the right reasons. That's a song
Like
right
that.
there.
That's a song right there.
That's a country song.
In
Wow,
terms
that's
of-
really good. But yeah, anyways,
go.
you know,
I still like ghost stories. Do you remember that? That's a deep cut.
ghost stories.
Ghost stories. So when Eddie was on the podcast, we typed in song. I think it was either song lyric generator or song name generator, and so we went to country song name generator, and the song name that it came up with was Ghost Stories for
Okay.
country music.
Yeah, I don't think that really works. Well, I
No,
mean,
me
it could be
neither.
kind of cool, I guess.
There's many ghost country songs out there. In terms of most embarrassing moments, I mean, I've had no room for embarrassment. I mean, I guess showing up to a store. Actually, it's not embarrassing until it wasn't embarrassing in the moment until I realized what it was. The first day that you had to wear masks in stores, I didn't have a mask. I was renting a U-Haul van, and like it was supposed to be a contactless thing, and something fucked up with the app, so they were like, you have to go in. So I was in a hurry. I was already late because the app screwed up, and so I had to go in. So I walked in. The lady's like, I can't serve you without a mask. I'm like, like, here's my phone, sort of thing. And I was a little bit more of a dink about it, and then I went out afterwards, and I was like, I was totally just that dude.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's embarrassing.
Oh, that
Not
sucks.
really bad about that. But,
I mean, nobody knew what the protocols were at the beginning, right?
yeah.
You know, as long as you're
I'm still
not that guy now, like,
Yes.
if you're
But
still
if
that
you'd like
guy,
to cancel the Music Guy podcast,
Yeah.
just add us to Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And,
Yeah.
Get on it.
yeah. Well, I mean, you know, in my case, it was just, you know, not doing your research, just spouting off, just wanted to get into the conversation,
Yeah,
spouting off stuff, and not doing my research and not, you know, being careful about that stuff. And that was a lesson learned. And I will do better in the future. Yeah, that was embarrassing. It was like 2 weeks later. It was like, okay, actually, or maybe it was like the very next week. I was like, okay, actually, this is very serious, and we all need to stay home.
I think when we get merch rolling,
Yeah.
we should just have a shirt.
A shirt.
That says COVID isn't serious and a photo of your face.
Oh my God. Quote, end quote.
Yeah.
Okay, how about moving on down the list here? Best or most important album of the year for you? I know you say you didn't listen to a ton of music.
So I listen to a lot of music, but I didn't listen to the radio.
Oh, gotcha.
Now this isn't a current album. I can't remember the exact title, but the Billie Eilish record.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Where Do We Go When We Sleep? I listened to that whole record probably like 15 or so times in the COVID experience, and it's so fucking good. They made it in their bedroom, just her and her brother, and he did it with like pretty, like I don't want to say basic gear, but like he didn't have any like fancy. I don't think he had a preamp, you know, like he just had like an AT 2020 for her voice. You know, he did it pretty much with. Remember, we did that episode where we talked about sort of, you know, budget getting started recording setups.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much did it with one of those setups, and it's, you know, a huge record, and it still sounds great. You wouldn't know it, you know. If you were told, you maybe be able to parse out things like, oh yeah, he's just using one synth to get all these different sounds.
Wow.
It's a great record.
I gotta check it out.
You should.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
For me, I'm gonna go with this is a record I only discovered recently, but I think it's super cool. The latest Brothers Osborne record is called Skeletons.
How did I guess?
Came out this year.
I actually haven't heard it.
It's cool, man. I mean, you know, I've probably talked about this before, but if you're into like psychedelic rock, but you also like country, this is like the perfect band, right? Because they're a guitar-driven, you know, band that they're not afraid to stretch out. They're not afraid to have a 10-minute song. They're not afraid to have a breakdown. Every song's got a great, unique theme to it. And by theme, I mean like musically, you know, and it's all guitar driven, but different tone, or like, you know, he'll do the more traditional sort of tone and playing style, or he'll do a more like 70s thing, or he'll do a more modern thing. And the riffs are super cool and super original sounding to me. And I think the singer's badass. And yeah, I mean the whole band is great, and just the way it was recorded, the sound is great on it.
Does Ariel Posen still play with them, or has he only branched off to his own thing?
Well, no, you're thinking of Bros Landreth.
Oh, Brothers Osborne.
Yeah, another Brothers band. Yes.
Yeah, okay. I love the Brothers Osborne. Actually, I agree. Skeletons. If we're talking about records that were made this year, I fucking love Skeletons. What was that one song? Hurting Somebody. The drums on that? Hurting Somebody. I don't know how to fucking but, oh my God. And then also the direct in guitar. Oh my God. It's perfect, like modern, but also like old school. Lo-fi, hi-fi.
And it's really not, I mean, again, if we're talking about country, it's really not truly a country record. It's in part a country record, but this is a 70s rock record, like you know, with a modern shine to it. It's sick. So I would encourage people to check it out. All right, successes in 2020. If we can look back on this weird year, are there things you can look back on this year and say, you know what, I accomplished this, and however small. Or however large, you know, like, because I think it's important for us to try to stay positive about this year. I'm predicting that I'm going to see a lot of memes and hear a lot of conversation. They're like, oh, F you 2020, who, you know, get out of here. Like you sucked. And it's like, you know, it's not a bad thing if you're going through certain challenges. Now, this year was extraordinarily damaging to a lot of people more than others. I feel very, very fortunate to have sort of come out relatively unscathed.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. I've got my health. I've still got a place to live. I've got a wonderful girlfriend. I've got, you know, a cool podcast and stuff. So like, you know, in a way, like I feel a little bit guilty almost for like being okay. But I also think that like it's important to be grateful for that, and to recognize that that's not the way it is for everybody. And so for me to like go on social media or whatever and spout off like, oh, this was the worst year ever, blah blah blah, it's like, was it really for me? You know, like
I have
so but I mean, you know, you don't want to ever take away from the tragedies that have happened and the deaths that have happened and the inequality that's been exposed throughout of all of this. But I just think that it's I think it's important for everybody as much as you can, especially if you weren't truly hugely negatively affected by this stuff, to recognize that and to, you know, be grateful what you have and try to look back at the positives. So sorry, go ahead. You were going to say.
I have a mixed relationship with this because first 2 or 3 months of this, I've been asking for a plague to hit for my life, but everyone has always been asking for more time, more free time to pursue things, and that's been my excuse for many things, and I'm sure it's been others. And this is it. Essentially, the first few months, that's what this was, at least for me. Just tons and tons of time to do things, which obviously I feel guilty about because it hasn't really negatively impacted me, or hadn't at that time. But yeah, as you know, if you listen to earlier podcasts, I'm saying, oh, I'm going to come out of this stronger. I'm going to be Michael Hebbs, 2.0. And it's like, now it's getting to the long haul. And it's definitely affected me and all of us. We're all bummed out. I can see it when I was, when things opened up and went to go teach. I could see it in the teachers, just the way they were looking. They were worn out, and just kind of like, I remember my son. So I asked someone how they were doing, and they said, "Oh, and that was it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's rough. But I understand that. But yeah, no, I don't think that this year it's just been this thing. It's like, oh man, all this free time and, to pursue things. Now it's kind of me. But obviously not nearly as much as people who have actually had, people die as a result of COVID. But yeah, no, it's true. We got to be grateful for what we have. Grateful. We're going to be grateful for fucking seeing our friends, being able to hang out with our friends, have a beer, at a bar, packed with people, go out to dinner with our friends. Like this year is going to give us a bunch of stuff. Allegedly, people are saying that after the Spanish flu, there was this renaissance of music and just culture and all that stuff. And maybe we'll get that. So it's true. Hold out. But,
I hope so, man. I'm optimistic that there'll be a big resurgence when it is able. There'll be lots of gigs. There'll be people will be really hungry for live music. But are we going to see that in 2021? It feels like we're about halfway through this thing, which is crazy to think, because when it started, we thought things might be okay by summertime. That was kind of what the advertisers were putting forward. It's like, well, by summer you'll be able to come and buy our products again, and it's like, man, we're so far away. But but looking back on 2020, I mean,
what did you accomplish? What's your success, buddy?
I mean, I'm proud. I produced, with the help of the Agenda, as part of the Agenda, produced a full-length Christmas album called Home for the Holidays. Beverly Mahood, Max Shepard, Leah Daniels, Lindsay Beckett as the featured artists. Yeah. And, we were the band for it. This is a 10-song record that I mixed and edited, recorded vocals, tuned vocals, whatever, did all that stuff. I mean, it was a huge project. I'm very proud that it's done. It's the first actual LP, if you want to call it that I've had the pleasure of an opportunity to mix and produce. So I'm very proud of that record, and I think it's cool and it's fun and it's a Christmas album. So if you like Christmas music, you'll like that.
I do like Christmas.
And I mean, another one I'm working on it right now. Graham Scott Fleming's new EP, which is going to come out next year.
Heard glimpses of it. It's quite
You've
good.
played on a bit of it. Yeah,
I
man,
have.
and you've done some sound design for some of it as well.
It's an SD.
But being able to record and produce and mix that as well. The first single is done. I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't know if I'm supposed to yet. But we're just really proud to have been able to work
Is
with.
it Ghost Stories? I think it's Ghost Stories, right?
I think it's You Were Wrong for All the Right Reasons.
There you go.
Yeah. So, just be able to work with the agenda as we do, and the great artists that we've been doing work with. It's been really awesome to look back on 2020 as a success in that
I'm trying to think if
sort
I've
of thing.
succeeded in any senses. I mean, I'd say going back to guitar lessons, I'm going with Justin Abedin. If you're in Toronto, you should absolutely get lessons with
The
him.
master.
Yes, Al's gotten lessons with him. My brother's gotten lessons with him. People who are playing in like the biggest bands in Canada have gotten lessons with him. It's just he's not just like a guitarist. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, and I'm super guilty. Well, I'm not super guilty of this because I don't want to say I'm not good enough, but there are sometimes you meet a really good guitarist and they're just a really good guitarist. He's a really good guitarist, but he's also even more so just a really good musician. And I'm not saying he plays multiple instruments, which he does, but he's just very musical. He's never like, oh, check out this cool pentatonic pattern. It's all musical, dynamics.
Yeah.
Like all the real shit, how you hold your pick, time feel. So that's been a big success for me to actually get off my butt, go to a teacher. Another thing, keeping up with the gym. I'm more fit than I was when this started.
Nice.
I'm trying. Other than that, I guess trying to learn lap steel. I'm pretty comfortable in open D and open C tuning, which is not the traditional lap steel tuning. That's actually kind of the tuning that Will is using for that baritone guitar of his. So I know where all the notes are on that. I can't take a solo, but I could, I could use my ear on the thing now, it's actually not that hard. It's just intervals. It's like the 3 strings are just like the 3 strings on your guitar, and the other strings kind of just like a drop D thing, and then that gives you 4 out of the 6 strings. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Other than that, just keeping the podcast going. We're working on getting the merch set up, and it will be set up by the end. Well, it'll be set up quite soon, so that'll be another success of ours.
Yeah, and just keeping consistent with the show, I think, has been great. Getting more engagement, developing our skills as podcasters, and having some cool guests on. Right? Like I'm super proud of this show and what we've done so far, and it's been a pleasure. As I've said to you before, man. Like it's been a real pleasure doing this show with you, and I hope to continue indefinitely.
Your racing chair that you have behind you have a new chair.
Yeah. Extra comfort in the in these days of extended screen time. Yeah, awesome gift from my brother Ian, actually.
Very good gift.
One other thing that I did this year is I released the latest single that I released, which is called Drama.
Yes.
Had the most streams I've ever gotten on Spotify. So
I don't want to be the drama. I don't want to start a war.
That was a success, and I was very, very happy with how that went down.
Great success.
Yeah, and then personally, I moved to a new place in the beaches. I've got Katie and I have our home set up now. Like we live in the top 2 floors of a house. We got like a bedroom with a door. I've got a studio room here. So we can sort of really settle in, and we're really enjoying this area as well. So I feel very grateful to be here. So those are my.
Closer to me.
I am closer to you. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
What matters?
Do you have any goals for 2021?
That's a good question.
I drew a blank when I looked at this one too. I was like, oh, I have to set goals for next year. Time still passing. What? Yeah.
I would like to take vocal lessons. Not a lot though. Like I'd love to study with like someone like Justin, but for vocals, just to develop a more healthy, use of my voice, and nail my tuning. But vocal lessons, I'd like to learn like the proper lap steel tuning, and get that rocking. Other than that, we gotta get more, cool guests for the podcasts. I'd like to get in even better shape. That'd be cool too.
Ooh, I've been slipping in that area for sure.
Yeah, not go crazy. That'd be cool. Not lose my fucking board. What about you? You got any goals?
I would like to organize my time better. I've been creating a lot more content, and I would like to do even more somehow. Like, I have a real itch to do all this stuff. Like, I really enjoy streaming. I really enjoy making this podcast. I would like to maybe get back into the fray of making YouTube videos, like in terms of cover songs and stuff like that, to complement the Music Monday stream. I'm adding a second day of music streaming on Thursday nights now. Thursday nights, 7:30 Eastern time on twitch.tv/AlRoMusic.
What's your Twitch name?
Twitch.tv.
Your Twitch name was AlRoMusic?
AlRoMusic, yeah, twitch.tv.
All right.
Kind of hit me up, follow. We do we play songs, and I take requests and try to learn stuff on the fly, and it's super fun. It's been building slowly, and I'm just really enjoying doing it. So I want to put more time into that. But one thing that I realized that I hadn't been accounting for is how long it takes to post things. And I was talking to you about this before we started this show, but like editing this podcast, it is a whole thing. I get that takes time. I understand how to do that. When I go to post it to social media, it actually takes 30 plus minutes to do all the things, because I got to make the blog post on the website. I have to, make an image. I have to share it to all the right pages. Got to hashtag everything. Got to make sure all the links work. Got to make sure the show notes are there. Got to verify that the audio file works.
Streamlining this. Maybe there's a way we can streamline
exactly,
this,
right? And so, in addition to this show, I'm also producing some YouTube content and, doing like, downloading my stream that I did, my past stream, taking a clip of it, putting it on Instagram. Like, all this stuff takes a bunch of time. So I'd like to organize my time better, such that like I've blocked off, an hour or 2 hours on this day a week to make sure that I do this, make sure I post my clip, decide like what things I want to do, what stuff I want to experiment with, what stuff's been working, what stuff hasn't. And then maybe if I get more efficient at it, I can do more, produce more. Maybe I can be doing a video cover song a week, 2 music streams a week, an MTG stream a week, this podcast. You know what I mean? Like, how can I be more productive?
How can you be a better magician?
In addition to, my job, which at times is, 9 to 5 working on tracks and mixing songs for whatever project we're working on. So anyways, I know that I'm not good at organizing my time. And we had that great episode with Sean where he sort of talked a lot about how to do that. So that's my biggest goal, I think. And in doing so, I'm going to create more content, which is another goal of mine. And it's funny, I was looking at my goals from last year's version of this podcast, and I wanted to write another record. And I definitely did not do that this year, which is a bummer because we had so much extra time. But I'm putting it down as my goal for this year. Again, I was getting together with Tom Hanley and writing, so I want to get back to it.
Because you've had so much time, but not compared to your average person. You guys have really not notched up the production. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are producing and recording more so than any other year, right?
Oh yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Yeah.
So like someone like me, I have way too much free time. Now that my area is now in lockdown, I can no longer teach. I went from, once again, I built up my studio before for teaching, and now I have 3 students. So collecting that CRB, baby, literally for the next month, I am going to be teaching. I have 3 private students, and then I have like 10 students at a store that I teach over Zoom. So I'm going to be teaching for like whatever half of 13 is, 6.5 hours a week.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of free time. So it's a lot different. Also, too, like you wanted to make a record, but it's like you have so many other fulfilling things that you started doing this year,
It's true. I didn't anticipate how much content I would get into. So it's been cool. So
any failures this year? What's your failure?
Any failures this year? Probably. None are coming to mind at the moment.
I got one.
You got one? All right. I mean,
got
I
a
failed
big
to
one.
write the record this year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, big failure.
Yeah.
I failed in it was pretty catastrophic. So I had updated my computer from Windows 7 to Windows 10. You had done the same thing.
Yeah.
And I had backed up all my stuff on my hard drive. And they always say, if you don't have your stuff in 3 different places,
It
backed
doesn't
up,
exist.
then it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yes. That was actually in sync on my end. Because of
Nice.
the latency. It was
Jinx.
like, perfect.
Yeah.
You owe me a Coke, and I will not drink it. 'Cause that is that sounded so preachy.
Yeah.
But yeah, seriously. Yeah, so I only backed it up on the hard drive, and when I went to go do some other Windows stuff, the hard drive ended up getting wiped. So I now have lost literally like a decade's worth of old Pro Tools session files of mine, our designs. Now, that being said, I have, I think I can recover it. I'm in touch with a company, and they're like, yeah, it should be easy. But back up your shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
because losing your stuff is not
Devastating.
not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really annoying. I spent 3 or 4 hours trying to do it myself, recover everything, and now I got this company involved. So
Well, good luck,
that's my
man. I hope.
big failure.
Yeah, I hope you can get that back. That's super
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, what can you do?
How about favorite episode of the show this year? We did a lot of episodes this year, and we had a lot of good ones, and we had a lot of good guests. But is there anyone that might stand out that you want to
You know
touch
what?
on?
Let's pull up the old musicguypodcast.com website.
While you're doing that, I'm going to shout out a couple here. Actually, back-to-back episodes, number 38, 39. Excuse me. Sorry. Number 38, 39. Josh Cohen, number 38. I remember just having such a blast. Sorry, hold on a second. 47, 40. Okay. So number 38, Josh Cohen. I just had such a blast talking with Josh. It's been so many years since he and I have sat down and chatted. We used to do gigs together all the time. That he moved to Wisconsin, and he's been doing his solo bass career, which has been crushing. Obviously not so much at the moment, but and just talking about teaching approaches and just getting to connect with him again and just chat. I had a blast that episode.
That was a great one. That was really fun to see him. I'm the worst at keeping in touch, and this podcast has helped me so much.
Right? Yeah, that is a thing. Yeah.
I like the Eddie one too. The
Oh,
Eddie
man.
Vedder one.
Yeah.
But we used to play gigs all the time too, and now he's a really busy boy. He's playing with Shawn Mendes. Which episode was that though? I'm trying to look up the
Oh boy.
number. I think it's. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Gosh darn buttons. I believe it was episode 30. Episode
That sounds
30,
right.
Eddie Rudder.
Eddie Ryder. Yeah. If you guys want to hear it right from the mouth of Shawn Mendes' keyboard player,
There you go.
go on back to episode 30. Check it out. RJ's episode
Yes.
39. This is Art School. Was just a really heavy episode, and I'm really just glad that we were able to do it. And that was, in a lot of ways, started my real self-reflection and thinking about inequality and how I have or haven't been affected by certain things, based on how I look and who where I was born and when and stuff, and
Perceive you.
and how people perceive me, and just really digging deep and be like, holy crap, there's a lot of stuff that I grew up thinking, oh, this is just the way it is, and not realizing that that's not the way it is for everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
So really powerful episode. That movement has done a lot of great stuff, and they continue to do great stuff. This is Art School, so check that one out. The number 39. I know number 54. The original number of it, I don't know what it was, but we re-released it as 54. That's one of your favorites with Sean Giovanni.
I really like that. Out of people we've just had on as guests and just advice that it's like, man, I would have listened to this podcast and learned so much. That podcast was beautiful. Another one that I really liked was 40, just in terms of silliness.
Tom
And
Moffat.
like, yeah, that's a very solid one. We did a summary episode too, number 50, number 51, and we just went through clips. That was really strong.
That was
There's
really
just so
fun.
many- 49, I think we did a great job too. We finally got around to, summarizing how to learn a song by ear and play through it.
That was a really good one. Yeah. Yeah.
some
How
guitar.
to learn a song by ear. Yeah, number 49. That was a great one. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean,
They're all great,
exactly.
That's why you got to tune in every week, because like it's going to be gold every week. You don't want to miss it.
Every single thing I say is great.
All right, I got a couple more, and then I got to bounce. I have a Zoom call with my extended family for like a post Christmas hangout, so I got to bounce in a sec. But who do you think is going to be the biggest or most important artist of the next decade? Because we are embarking on a new decade here. This could just be like personally, like who do you think maybe you're going to listen to the most, or who do you think is going to be the most successful or have the biggest impact on the industry?
That is a good question. Who am I going to listen to the most? I've been listening to some Led Zeppelin. I know they're obviously, they're not new.
Not making music anymore, I don't think.
I've been listening to a lot of Led Zeppelin lately, and so I think I will be continuing to do that. I just always listen to I listen to like Stairway to Heaven and like rock and roll.
Yeah.
So like I never really got in. They have so much fucking songs.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like going deeper into the catalog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
but
who's like currently active that you think is gonna
who I think is who's gonna
be in for a big
that's a tough
decade?
one. I mean, obviously, I think Billie Eilish is gonna be in for a big decade. I kind of hope she doesn't though, because I don't want her to get too messed up. She's young, emotionally. I don't want her to get too, Justin Bieber seemed to struggle with his shit, and I don't want her to struggle with that. But I mean, maybe she won't.
Yeah.
But I have no fucking idea. I gotta listen to the radio, man. I ain't relevant at all.
Shawn Mendes seems to me like he is one or two massive hit songs away from just like taking over the whole
Legendary.
world. Like he's, what was that Ed Sheeran song, Thinking Out Loud?
Yeah.
Like that's when it was like, okay, this guy is officially just the biggest guy ever, like,
Yeah.
I think Shawn Mendes is a song like that away from. I mean, he's already one of the biggest artists in the world, and they're doing huge tours and stuff.
Top
But
of the
I
fucking
think
mountain.
he's only 22 or whatever he is.
So young.
If he can get a song like that, it could
Which
really
he
be.
could. He's at the level of success that any minute now, one of these songs. Obviously, they've already blown up.
Yeah.
But they could blow up to that next level if there is a level above that.
Yeah.
Because I do like that he's got like the production in his music, and the music that he's making. It is pop, but it's like it's different. Like it has a sound. He's not like this is like, this is my shtick that everybody else has. It's like that song, like Nothing Holding Me Back. It's like there's nothing like that. I've never heard anything like that. It's because it doesn't have distortion guitar. You easily could listen to a producer and be like, let's throw in like rock guitar there and huge drums. It's got like an acoustic guitar doing like, or I don't even know if it's
Yeah.
acoustic guitar.
There is a clean little bit of dirt on it, electric, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a full on rock tune. Might have been in the early 2000s, but
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
like
but I think I don't know. I think he's got that staying power. Like, not going to be
Yeah.
a flash in the pan kind of thing. I mean, he's already got so many records out, and it just keeps growing. I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the biggest artists over the next 10 years. All right, last one here. What was your biggest lesson learned of 2020?
That's a good question. I guess just don't take anything for granted.
That's a good one.
It can all fucking go away.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's definitely one of the ones.
Yeah. I think for me, and I touched on this already a little bit, but just gratitude, just understanding that like I'm extraordinarily lucky to be sitting in this chair talking to you on a podcast right now, and my family's healthy and I'm healthy and Katie's healthy and we have a place to live. And it's like, yeah, my career was massively affected this year, but that's nothing that I can't work through, you know? And it's nothing that we're, you know? So I'm just super, super grateful, and also just my eyes being open to the inequality and the social injustice and
Sure.
those kind of things that have come up this year, and chatting with RJ, you know, and seeing what happened with George Floyd and with a lot of the other
Just
incidents
another
like
week,
that,
Andre
and just
Hill, man.
yeah. What? Pardon me?
Andre Hill. Just this other week, Andre Hill, man.
I haven't even heard
in
about that.
Ohio, I believe it was a week ago. Literally, the dude was just coming to greet the police officers. They have
Oh my
fucking
God.
body camera. It's like cut and dry.
Oh, jeez.
You know, like they fucked up real bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no.
just having my eyes open to that, and realizing that like the world is not a fair place, and I'm privileged, and I don't necessarily deserve to be, but here I am, and I just need to do the best with the time I have and the influence I have and the resources that I have, and be grateful for my friends and family, and you know, I recognize that it's not this way for everybody, and try to help others where I can. So that's it for me.
I was going to interrupt you, and I did earlier.
So I did.
Yeah, but you
I
were
thought
saying
I'm going to
just
interrupt
working-
him, and then I did.
when you're saying we can work through anything or something of that nature, and that's another thing that I learned this year. It's just like whatever it is, you know, you're gonna get through it until you don't. But like financially, like obviously our government has been so good about making sure to have a safety net there in this time. But even if we didn't have that safety net, like you were probably thinking, well, how am I gonna work and, you know, keep doing music? And it's like you guys made some pivots so that you could do more production, and it worked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like whatever it is, no matter how bad it is, it's like there's always sort of a way to spin it to sort of like help yourself, you know?
Yeah. And
so-
I don't mean to minimize anybody's struggles or anybody else's situations, but when I look at my situation, it's like, yeah, I had to adapt, and so did you, and it was a challenging year. There were struggles, you know, but like when my problems are not problems, you know what I mean?
No.
Like we're
I have
lucky.
too much free time.
We're lucky. We live in
real
Canada.
problem.
Our government gave us CERB, so that this huge CERB is the funding that they gave to people like Mike and I who are out of work, and like so that we wouldn't go broke and starve to death. It's like, you know, our government made it so that this huge problem for the world is not a true problem for us. So
It's not gonna bankrupt us or destroy us.
yeah, at least not this year, not today.
Yeah, and I mean, even if they didn't give us CERB, you know, we would have figured out a way. Whether it is, you know, like you would have had to get like just a regular, you know, minimum wage job, but you can make it work. I mean, and it would have been much worse. It would have been much more difficult.
Yeah.
But just knowing in my mind, just with something like this, that it's like, yeah, whatever it is, I'll be able to get through it. You know, I feel a little bit more assured in that, even though I didn't really have real hardship this year.
No.
But
But facing challenges is going to help you grow, right? And it will make you stronger. So yeah, I think just looking back on the year with gratitude rather than anger or hatred or disappointment or whatever. It's like
2020 still sucked though.
what?
That's-
yeah, I mean,
2020 still sucked balls.
yeah,
But yeah, I know what you mean. Not like looking back and being bitter, but I still
Yeah.
fucking hate 2020. And I'm probably not gonna like 2021 too. So you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Make the best of it.
Well, make the best of it, and just recognize that if you are in a position where you're not facing true hardship, be thankful for that. But so that's all I got for this episode. Do you want to leave the folks with anything as we head into 2021 here?
I don't know, man. Buckle up, baby. 2021 is gonna be a little bit of a ride too.
Yeah, but we're gonna keep it going with this podcast. Keep the episodes coming. New guests, merch is coming.
Yep.
So lots to look forward to, and we look forward to sharing it all with you guys, you folks in our devoted listenership here. We would appreciate it so much if you would share this podcast with your friends. Maybe leave us a review on like Apple Podcasts,
iTunes.
Yeah. That'd be super helpful. If you want to come, and one of the goals, I should have said this, but one of the goals for 2021 is I want to get more engagement, man, on this podcast. Like I want to answer more questions. I want to play more music. So if you have a question for us, funny one or serious or whatever, please send it in, musicguypodcast@gmail.com, or get in touch with myself at Alvaro Music on whatever social media platforms, or Mike at Bruno the Meek on Instagram. If you're an artist who writes music, records music, and you would like your song to be featured on the podcast, send it to those very same channels, and we'd be happy to play it. MP3 format works best, as much as we talk smack and audio fidelity and stuff. The way that we export the podcast and compress things makes it kind of a moot point for podcasting. But anyways, just I'm so happy when questions and songs come in. So send them on in, and we would love to answer them and play them for you.
Fuck yeah.
So we'll leave you with that. Have a happy New Year, everybody. Be safe. I know usually New Year's Eve is when we all go out and get together. I don't think we're going to be able to do that this year, so please be safe. And we'll talk to you guys in 2021.
2021, here we come, baby!